Hey guys, it's Steven with You're So Vegan, and I'm kind of known in my circle of friends to come up with some crazy concoctions, and today is no different. But I think these will be really good, so this is an experimental recipe that we're going to try together today. So, I love hearts of palm. I got these at Trader Joe's today. The reason why I got them there is because they're cheap for starters, and also they're just in water. They're not pickled, so they're just straight up hearts of palm. For those of you that have not had hearts of palm before, it is the inner core of certain types of palm trees. So it's circular, you'll see when we open it up, they come in tubes typically, and you cut them up and can use them in salads, raw, but today I'm gonna try something different where we're gonna actually cook them. I have 2 potatoes right now that are cooking on the stove, and as soon as they're soft, I'm gonna take them and I'm gonna incorporate them along with some diced up hearts of palm, and from that point, we're gonna add some really good vegan mayo, along with, of course, salt and pepper. And we're gonna pan fry them in olive oil and make fritters out of them. I'm gonna flavor them 2 different ways, so we could try it in 2 different flavor profiles today. So the first one is going to be a good standard, I know, capers, either love them or hate them, I love them, and dill. 2 flavors that go really well together, so we're gonna try that with one of our fritters, and then the other one, Old Bay seasoning. So it'll give it a very Cajun-y, seafood, spicy kind of flavor. So we're gonna try both ways and see which one works. So the first thing we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna break up the potatoes that were just boiled. And we'll need to let these cool for a few minutes just so we could handle them. But the potatoes are gonna make a really good binding for our dish today, in addition to the vegan mayonnaise that we're going to add. So I'm going to let these cool for a few minutes, and then I will come back and we will get going on putting this dish together. While we're waiting for the potatoes to cool, I'm going to go ahead and prep our herbs and our hearts of palm. So first thing we're gonna do is, I already washed this dill, so we're just gonna dice it up really fine. Dill is one of those spices that reminds me a lot of my childhood. My mom used to use this when she would make a lot of soups, like chicken soup or matzo ball soup. So the flavor of fresh dill has always been very reminiscent of when I was a kid. So you want to dice this up pretty fine. You don't want to use the stems, so we're going to just put them aside. And that should be pretty good. And we're going to set that aside. And then the hearts of palm is something I picked up, like I said, at Trader Joe's today. And you don't want to get the pickled kind, you want to get the kind that come just in water, packed in water. And then you're just gonna line them up, and we're gonna cut them in little discs. And then both the heart's palm and the dill and the capers will go into one of our recipes, and then the balance will go into our other version. So let's get the potatoes now that they've cooled, and we'll put these together. Let's go ahead and divide the mixture into 2. That looks about halfway. And then for our first flavor profile, we are going to be using capers. So I would put probably 1, 2 heaping teaspoons. And then I would take 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of pepper. And then probably about 2 tablespoons of the chopped dill. And then we're going to incorporate that all together. And that'll be for our first fritter. And then for our second fritter, we're going to use Old Bay seasoning. So for this, I would probably go 2 teaspoons. Without spilling it all over the counter like I just did. And we're gonna go ahead and incorporate that in. Now you don't need to add salt to this one because base seasoning has a lot of salt. So what I would say is we may just add a little bit of pepper, just like a little touch. And there you have our second mixture. So let's go ahead and add probably about 3 tablespoons of oil. You want it to definitely coat the bottom of the pan because you don't want these guys sticking as you cook them off. Now what you want to do with each one of the fritters is you want to kind of form them into little patties. They almost look like veggie burgers, but they're not. And then what you're going to do from there is just drop it in the oil. And then this is our second one. This is our caper and dill. So we're going to go ahead and drop that on in. And then we're just gonna cook these over medium to high heat until they get brown on each side. So let's go ahead and cook these off. This is exactly the way they should look. So let's go ahead and taste them and see what they came out like. So here is what they look like. And let's go ahead and first give the base seasoning one a taste. The potato and the hearts of palm have a really good combination. The potato's soft and the hearts of palm is really crunchy and firm. And that base seasoning, it's almost like eating a mock crab cake, I would say. The caper and dill one, let's try that. Salty capers, the really bold flavor of the dill. And the same thing, it's a smooth, creamy potatoes with the crunchy hearts of palm. These would be really good served with a side salad, or you could just eat one of these as a snack in between meals if you get hungry. But I think really good, really interesting, and a nice spin on a typical fritter or potato pancake. So I hope you guys will try this recipe, and be sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and let your friends know about it. Whether they're vegan or they just wanna eat a little bit healthier, there's different ways to do it. So this is just one option that I like to present to you guys, and I hope you all have a great day.